Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has told Fox News that regime change in Iran could be the result of its attacks.
So is regime change part of the effort here?
Could certainly be the result because the Iran regime is very weak. I think it's basically left with two things. It's plans to have atomic bombs and ballistic missiles. That's basically what Iran has. They certainly don't have the people. 80% of the people would throw these theological thugs out.
Joining us now is Al Jazeera senior political analyst Marwan Bishara from Paris. Marwan, first of all, your reaction to that interview?
Theological thugs. I mean, that must remind you of something. His two ministers that are sanctioned by European capitals because they are fanatical religious thugs. And here he is throwing criticism at the Iranians. There are so many problems with that interview, and it just goes to tell you the thing that I've been saying for a long time. Netanyahu thinks the Americans are stupid. Otherwise, he wouldn't be uttering those sorts of lies to the Americans that have gone through these lies before. What he's doing in the interview is that he is basically recreating the theatrical deception that we've seen unravel before the Gulf War in 2003. He's repeating the same debunked lies, at least 4 of them. One, that there is an imminent nuclear danger. We've heard that before the Gulf War. We're hearing it today. But in this very particular case, the American Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, told us that Iran is not working on a nuclear weapon. There is no nuclear weapon program. The Supreme Leader did not sanction it. 2, they're telling us that they are not just in imminent danger, that the Iranians are thinking of giving nuclear weapons to the Houthis. Again, no nuclear weapons. Why would give them to the Houthis? How would they give them to the Houthis? And what would the Houthis do with them? It's the same like we've heard about Saddam giving nuclear weapons to Al-Qaeda. And then again, we've heard that this is a war of defense and there has to be a regime change. There's no other way. Why there should be a regime change? Why should a little country like Israel be imposing on a country like Iran a regime change when its own government is fanatical, fascist, and certainly not popular anywhere, and its leaders indicted in the International Criminal Court for war crimes? It's a genocidal government. It has nuclear weapons. It's not a signatory to the NPT. Iran does not have nuclear weapons, has signed and is a member of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. So really, all in all, the sort of lies we've heard in this interview, trying to tell the Americans this, that, and the other thing, when the Americans know otherwise, just goes to tell you how thick-skinned and a pathological liar this man is.
But the big question, of course, is how Trump responds to him, because we've seen from him over the last few days, first of all, denying that the US is involved in any of these attacks, then coming around to the idea that actually, yes, the US was informed well in advance of the attacks, and now saying that it is actually possible that the US could get involved.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt that Trump has been hedging. It's a very Trumpian hedge. He always wants to come out winner. He likes winners. And as soon as Netanyahu appeared to be like as if he was winning, then he sided with him, talking about the excellent bombing of Iran. But then when it became a bit clearer that this is just a debacle and Iran will respond and has responded, then he wasn't so sure. He told Putin that we need to bring an end to the war. I think the bit about assassinating Khamenei or not, that's such a, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's okay to bomb a country and to change the regime, but it's not okay to attack the leader. I mean, it's okay for Trump to tell Netanyahu, go ahead, bomb the hell out of the country, but don't touch its leader. I mean, I don't know what is that? So really, in the end of the day, Trump is not really sure what to do. He just wants to come out a winner. But there is a clear fact here that he needs to sober up to. And that is the same thing that he attacked Bush Jr. for. If he does get involved in this war, a war that costed the United States $3+ trillion when it invaded Iraq, if he does take the responsibility for regime change in Iran, that's not going to be 30, that's going to be 30 trillion. That's not going to be 3-4 years mission accomplished. That's going to go on for decades. You don't have to like the Iranian regime to know that regime change by power from the outside will create vacuum, will create civil war, will create total implosion within the country, and that is not good for anyone, including the opposition to the regime.
Okay. Marwan Bishara, many thanks indeed for joining us once again from Paris.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.